So why is Donald Trump, why has he let over 100,000 and soon to be 200,000 Americans die from COVID-19, something that's pretty much not happening in any other developed country in the world? There are some specific theories out there. Check this out. Leave your comments, ding the bell, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. You know, I've got a larger question, in fact, for you here, and that is, why is Donald Trump so enthusiastic about Americans dying? Why is this? I mean, 2 weeks after our first diagnosed case, COVID-19 case here in the United States, up in Washington State, 2 weeks later, Republicans in the United States Senate voted to, with the exception of Mitt Romney, to refuse to impeach Donald Trump. They said that they didn't think he could do any more damage. Senator Susan Collins famously said that he was going to back down now from his most outrageous behavior because the House of Representatives had slapped his hands. Right. But now, newly empowered and feeling invincible, he seems hell-bent on a crusade to kill hundreds of thousands of Americans. I mean, we've got 122,000 dead Americans right now. You look at other countries around the world, it's 15, 20, 50, 100, 300. Here in the United States, it's 122,000 corpses. Now, nobody knows why Donald Trump is so enthusiastic about encouraging people to get sick and die from COVID-19. But there are a few possible viable theories. Trump and the Republicans' rhetoric all shifted the day after, or in some cases 2 days after April 7th. April 7th was the day that the Washington Post, the New York Times, CNN, MSNBC, and Fox News all reported that blacks and Hispanics were dying at twice the rate of white people. So is it possible that he and the racists in the Republican Party think, hey, COVID's a great way to reduce the population of blacks and Hispanics? I mean, right now, Stephen Miller's doing everything he can to keep black and Hispanic people out of this country. Why not, go along with a few of them dying who are already here? That's one possibility. Another possibility has to do with FreedomWorks, the group that was largely raised to prominence by right-wing billionaires and helped fund the so-called Tea Party movement. The billionaires want their people back at work, whether it's a refinery like the Kochs, whether it's meat processing plants, whether it's retail stores, restaurant. They want their people back to work, making them money. And if some of those workers get sick and die, hey, there's an unending stream. You got 40 million unemployed Americans. There's an unending stream of people willing to work for crap wages at jobs that might kill them. A third possibility is that Trump simply loves the idea of people dying. I mean, this is the most bizarre of all the possibilities, but it appears to be a characteristic shared by strongman governments around the world, from Duterte in the Philippines, who told the police in the Philippines, hey, just kill drug users, just shoot them in the head, to Jair Bolsonaro down in Brazil, who is like, oh, we're killing indigenous people in the Amazon? Well, life is tough. I mean, CNN is calling what's happening in the United States right now, they use this phrase several times this morning, including on their chyrons, apocalyptic levels of coronavirus infections. So given that we have apocalyptic levels of coronavirus, wouldn't it be a good idea to know why Donald Trump is so enthusiastic about Americans dying? Somebody over on Facebook, well, actually also on Twitter, I saw this in both places. I tweeted about this morning, and the article is both an op-ed basically saying what I'm telling you right now, is both on buzzflash.com and over at commondreams.org, asking why. And one person, or a couple of people, have suggested, he wants it to be a terrible mess in November so that people will be, afraid to vote. Why did he refuse to let America use the World Health Organization coronavirus kit in January, February, March, and to this day? Why? Why did he spend 2 months denying the obvious fact that this virus was real, that it was coming to the United States, that it was deadly, and that we were totally and utterly unprepared? Why did he refuse to set a good example for Americans by wearing a face mask? Is he more concerned about smearing his makeup than the death of 200,000 Americans? Why did he order his goons to intercept shipments of personal protective equipment and ventilators going to blue states? Where is all that equipment that he hijacked? Does he plan to offer it exclusively to red state governors? Is all this death just about politics? Why did he shut down, or why is he shutting down testing sites in multiple states next week after bragging at his Tulsa rally that he told his people to slow down the testing? Is it possible he's trying to let things get so bad that if he can roll out a vaccine in October, it will be his October surprise? Is that why the vaccine companies have gotten billions of federal dollars in what Trump calls Operation Warp Speed, while rural hospitals across the country continue to close? I mean, Louis Pasteur and Joseph Lister were doing their work just after the Civil War, and they taught us how to deal with infectious diseases. Why has Trump worked so hard to convince his followers to ignore 200 years of medical science? And what is it about right-wing leaders embracing death by pandemic? I mean, if Trump was the only leader in the world doing this, it might make it easier to figure out. But wealthy oligarchs who have taken over countries around the world are doing the same thing. Why do these leaders want their people to die? Why does Trump want more Americans to die? Frankly, and we just touched on this in the most surface fashion, I think, in some ways, with Dr. Frank. I mean, some brilliant insights. But this is a multidimensional, multifactorial issue here, and there's so much evidence all over the ground. Now the governor of West Virginia, Jim Justice, same deal. He just fired his public health director because she's saying, "Oh, look we've got some people dead from coronavirus." Oh, you can't talk about that. What the hell is going on here?